The Dorkening and all affiliated shows are not intended for anyone under the age of 18. The following may contain discussions or scenes that have adult situations, graphic violence, nudity, strong sexual content, and graphic language. This show is intended for mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised.
You are in.
Oh my
God!
God!
We live?
Drew is.
We're live.
You are in fact watching The Dorkening.
You're watching The Dorkening. Stay tuned.
For all the geek news everywhere. Dorkening.
And this is The Dorkening. Trust me, I'm smarter than these guys.
Because The Dorkening is the best and most educational entertainment and information source that the Trauma Team knows of. It's the best. The Dorkening.
We did it. Now we're
We
live.
did
and
it.
we lost the moderator.
Theo isn't here. But hey everybody. Happy Tuesday.
Sorry about our
Welcome to
12-minute opening.
I know. I was like, whoa, GamerCon's happening already.
Yeah, we wanted to roll out the extended cut for you, Mitch. You know, you being an esteemed guest and whatnot. So we figured,
the
Snyder cut of Splash Pages.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, oh, hello there, Mr. Cooper.
We'll bust right into this. Everybody, if you haven't noticed, Mitch Hallock of Terrificon right below me.
Damn it.
Yay!
That guy.
The only.
It's like the Brady Bunch. Hey, Jeremy.
So,
Ow.
it's been a long time.
My very first question is, where did you come up with the name Terrificon? I know it is a Terrificon because I love it, but
Right. Because I looked at all the words, adjectives that ended with a C, and which one I could put an O-N at the end of it and make it one word. That's true.
That was
it was
really smart.
Fantastic, iconic. What was the other ones? Iconic, fantastic, terrific. I went with that one. Yeah. The other name was King Size Comic Con. And because when I was a kid in the 70s, they used to come out with these king size annuals.
Edition.
Yeah, and I actually did the logo, but it's very long. King Size Comic Con. I'm like, yeah. And then everybody wanted to move away from the Comic Con name because San Diego is like forever suing anybody with even the name Con. Like Madeline Kahn got sued. I'm thinking Jimmy Kahn got sued. Anything that sounds like, no, I'm just kidding. But
good thing.
And I created a new word.
Dead, so
yeah, well, they got out of it as easy as they could. But my lawyer said you invented a new word. You added to the lexicon of the English language because there was no such thing as a terrific con. So I made a new.
Is there a lexicon?
Yeah, only Lex Luthor's can go to it.
That's true.
That's actually right there. Trademark that lexicon.
Lexicon.
And they can only do it in like Alexandria, Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. That's a good one.
So
Jeremy said, "Diamond in the rough." We already lost somebody. That's how good this conversation.
Yeah. So Mitch, we're already like 2 weeks away. How are you doing? Because you're a one-man con team. I mean, other people. You work with other people that you trust to handle certain things, but I've seen you at the con, and I always keep thinking, I want to say hi, but he's very busy, so I'm gonna wait till after the show. I'm always like, I could get a photo with Mitch, and I was like, he won't know.
You could do that. I could fake being sincere for a couple minutes.
Yeah, that's true. So, but how are you doing? Yeah.
Run around and hydrate you randomly, just bottles of water.
Yeah, I've been drinking my Waterloo. Look at that.
Yeah, just a little spray bottle.
That like a plant. They just they keep me moist and damp.
Indeed.
No, it's fine. It's just the normal nonsense. Like what happens is I write a checklist. I'm getting better at life. I write a checklist in my notes thing on my phone. With a little to-do list, and it's that release of endorphins when you cross off something. So I'm getting high by doing work. I'm like, man, it's almost done. And what happens is I think I've got all of it. And then as you sleep, your brain reprocesses like everything that happened that day. And I will wake up like a pin was jabbed in me at like 2:30 or 3:30 every night and go, oh my God, I forgot so-and-so's on the schedule. And it's true. And I will grab my phone and then I'll start working on it. And you'll see now and then they'll be posted 2:30 in the morning. That's because I'm up. And then I go, okay, you got to go back to bed. So once I figure everything out, then it's like, okay, it's done. And then I'll fall back asleep around 4 and then get up around 7. So that's what happens. But that doesn't turn off after the show's over. That PTSD lasts for a good week and a half after the show's over. So I keep getting up thinking the show hasn't happened. It's a very surreal experience. It's like you don't know what day it is, and you keep thinking the show's going to happen. It's like going back to school when you have final exams,
right?
And you think you got to do another exam, but you've been out of college or high school for 20 years now. But that's what it feels like. It's like, oh my God, I forgot something. I left somebody at the airport. There's somebody on the loading dock. We forgot to do a panel. I didn't get this comic book signed, and all that crazy stuff happens.
Yeah.
And you think here's what I do every day. I think I put the wrong date every time I update it. Like, hey, Terrificon, July 28th to the 30th. Go to Terrificon.com, and you'll see there's typos and stuff now and then. And then I get a letter from somebody like, what's a comic boom artist? I'm like, what? Because tonight I did that. I put comic boom, and I spelled artist wrong because, that's the problem with the one-man show. And there's no spell checks in a lot of the social media apps. No. So
I think I must be more tired than I thought because I could have sworn Justin turned into Leo?
That is correct. Justin,
Justin.
his computer froze, and luckily enough, I finished training our new show.
It's not just me.
Wow.
Yeah. We haven't really spread the word, but Jeremy Miller, who was Ben Seaver on Growing Pains, is bringing his show to the network.
Oh, congratulations!
Yeah. So I was doing a training session with him and his co-host.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do I know that name? Why do I know the name Jeremy Miller?
More than Growing Pains.
No, I never watched Growing Pains.
Oh.
From what else?
He was in things.
Okay. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe he was a guest at the show once. I'd know the name somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah, all I know him as one of the Seavers.
As we started the show with a quick, just straight up, how'd you come up with the name? I was thinking, because I know that I have people watching that might not know exactly what Terrificon is. So if you wanted to give us, I know most people are here, but there might be some people who are like, we want to find out more about what Terrificon is.
Terrificon is Connecticut's #1 Comic-Con happening at the Mohegan Sun Expo Center at Uncasville, Connecticut on July 28th to the 30th. You will see stars from TV, comic books, anime, movies, and more, all under one big roof for 3 fabulous, fun-filled family event days at Terrificon, Connecticut's #1 Comic-Con. That's the
treasure troves.
It's not as good as a certain ad I've been running on a lot of podcasts that was done by
I was so excited that
Jar Jar. Oh no, I've had people come to me. They go, "Who is that?" I said, "That's Jeremy."
That's fantastic.
It's 30 seconds and it does everything you need.
There
you go. Yeah.
There you go. I don't know why, but Mitch swaying as he said that, I was like, man, he knows he's going through the motions. I was like, look at him, perfectly timed.
Well,
like
know what it is.
Metronome.
It's weird because in Catholic school and all the school proper I had, were all the brothers and the sisters and the nuns, we are always told to look into people's eyes when you speak to them. And this new technology, I've got HAL 9000 up here. And I'm supposed to look up at that.
It's impossible to do that.
I know, but when you have
you guys all the time.
5 people, I'm like, my eyes are going to all of you. So it's kind of like, okay. So when you see me moving around, it's just because I don't want to ignore either.
That's totally fine.
Etiquette, Zoom etiquette.
I love the new zombie commercial. Who put that together for you?
Those are a series. We're doing a 4-episode show every week leading up to Terrificon. Episode 3 will drop on Friday morning. I've already seen it. But that's done by TNT Limited Productions up in Chelmsford, Massachusetts, by a fellow named Tom Pitnell that I've known since he started working on a movie called Indiana James and the Lost Shaker of Salt about 13 years ago, when I do a podcast about Indiana Jones, and it was a mashup of Indiana Jones meets Jimmy Buffett. And instead of looking for the Lost Ark of the Covenant, they were looking for like the Lost Margarita or something. I can't remember. So he filmed a movie that's almost shot for shot, scene for scene, a parody of Raiders of the Lost Ark, but with parrot heads. And thank you. And so, yeah, I met him there. And I mean, my son Owen was with me. There's pictures. I'm in the movie. I actually have a scene in that movie from 13 years ago. So he's almost done with it. He's still working on it. But to answer your question, he's the guy that does all our commercials and all the fun stuff that you see, all the photo shoots, who's done by Liz Ellis, who you guys might know.
Oh, I know Liz.
Yeah.
She's local photographer. Yeah.
She's great.
And Eli, her husband, they do a lot of the graphics and stuff.
So, yeah, she does great work. So another question I have is that Mitch, fun fact, your con was one of the first times I actually sat down to listen to a panel. Very much, I was always, going to signings and celebs and getting my book signed and whatnot. But one year I finally had some downtime and I sat in, I think it was, you had a Robin panel that
with Jim Starlin and Denny O'Neil. Yep.
Yeah. And it was absolutely hilarious. The late great Denny O'Neil. And because of the show, I've been able now to actually sit in quite a few of your panels, and they're always fantastic. But when someone proposes those two, do they submit like a proposal? Do they say, we were thinking this panel, what do you think? Do you have the yay or nay power, or is it just, hey, we're going to do this panel? And you're like, okay, cool. What time do you want?
Once again, I'm such a selfish SOB. I pretty much pick them all myself and just come up with them. I don't take suggestions from anybody.
The Weird Al. The Weird Al.
Once in a while, like somebody like you, the Dorkening or somebody, or the 501st will say, can we do a panel on recruiting new members into our group or something? And I go, sure. Or my friend Matt Herring, who writes a lot of books on his own, says, can I do a panel on how to be self-published? I'm like, okay, sure. So a lot of those like one-off workshop things, those are kind of supplied by some of the guests. But all the comic book ones, what I normally do is I just go down my guest list and I see which guys and women I had coming from certain books and go, oh, they all worked on the X-Men together. They all worked on Spider-Man. They all worked on Superman. Why don't and I just pull them all from those books, and so I'll come up with a panel, and I'll get 3 or 4 guest creators there and highlight them so they can all come in a room and just answer questions on whatever. But pretty much I'm the one that picks those, and then for the media guests, they pretty much write themselves, because if you have, somebody from Star Trek, you just do a Star Trek panel. If you have Walking Dead, you do a Walking Dead. Those are pretty, straightforward. But it's the comic book ones, because I'm such a comic book nerd. I'm actually counting down the minutes till I can go get my new books tomorrow at 11 o'clock at Cave Comics in Newtown, Connecticut. Nice. But I literally picked the panels because I'm fans of those certain characters or certain storylines. And I'd like to hear more about it. So that's it's a long-winded answer. That's how the panels get picked. So
I would expect nothing more of you, Mitch. Just all the deets.
With your comic books, you haven't switched to digital yet, huh?
No, because you know why? No, because I'm on the computer a lot with the show, and before this, I used to design websites. So the last thing I want to do in my free time is stare at my screen even more. So I don't like to look at my monitor or anything. I don't watch YouTube videos on the. I'll put it streaming onto my TV or something. I don't like looking at this little thing.
Oh, definitely not.
Nah.
So now that we finally passed COVID, do you have to do anything special because of COVID still, or are we really like finally past all the restrictions of? I mean, I know last year we didn't have to wear masks, but there was still a lot of people in there. I don't know if you have to have a lower
protocols or
anything. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm not the director of the World Health Organization, but what we normally do is we just go whatever Mohegan Health Department suggests when they talk to the state of Connecticut, who talks to what is it? I can't think of the word we talk. CDC. I mean, everybody taught, and they recommend. They go, oh, if this is, if the numbers are high, like when we did COVID 2 years ago, when we came back in 2021, there was a nice window where there was no more COVID for a while. It was like the numbers were going way down, and then in the distance was the Delta variant. I think it was. It hadn't started up yet. So we had a nice clean shot, and everybody was, this is great. This is great. And like a week or two after us, suddenly the Delta variant popped up, and then everything went back to mass, and it slowed things down. So nowadays you realize you don't know what the hell is going to happen from day to day. But to answer your question, at the moment, there's no restrictions or anything. But if you do feel like you want to wear a mask and you're more comfortable with a mask, by all means, go ahead and do that. I see that everywhere when I go now. The grocery store, the movie theater, the mall, the comic book shop. If some people want to wear them, they could wear them. But there's no mandatory thing at the Mohegan that you have to come in there with masks on or anything like that. But just use your own common sense, whatever makes you feel good. I mean, you don't want to do it, no one's going to force you.
Or if you're sick, just don't go to the con.
Well, that long before COVID, that was kind of like the stuff they told you when you were 5 years old. If you're sick, stay home. If you got a cold, stay home. I mean, you didn't need
I've always pandemic with those people that were coming into work all sick, and I'm like, why are you taking a day off? And they're like, oh, because I'm sick. It'd be horrible. I'll take a day off when I'm not. I'm like,
it's like, that's why they call them sick days. And then you're right. Then suddenly everybody would get the flu or something,
Yeah.
So you said you're going to the shop tomorrow. What are you most excited to pick up tomorrow?
Well, I see there's some new Captain America stuff coming out. What I do is I just check the weekly schedule and see what's coming out. I don't get a lot of DCs, if any.
Yeah.
Oops. I'm a Marvel guy. But I do know there's 2 variant covers by my good friend Jerry Ordway celebrating the 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
So if you're a Star Wars fan,
I did not know that.
Jerry's got 2 variant covers, which are a takeoff of the Bill Sienkiewicz covers from 40 years ago where they had characters on them. So I know there's 2 of those coming.
Welcome back, Justin.
Yeah, actually, we did a special about that on our website. So we did a nice big article showing.
Oh, about the 40th anniversary covers that you did?
Yeah, about his covers. So showing like the original cover next to his covers, and they look fabulous.
Yep. So that'll be happening tomorrow. If you want, I'll have to go check my list of what's coming out. So I'll bore you.
You made the comic nerd in me go, because every week I get all jealous. Not every week, but every time you go out to the movies with Mr. Ordway, I'm just like, that son of a bitch.
Well, I'm going to tell you, tomorrow, kids, there's a Marvel reproduction of Hulk 181 you might want to pick up. There's a new Moon Knight book out tomorrow.
Yeah.
Moon Knight 25. I'm going to get that. Yep. There's some X-Men. There's Storm #1, X-Men Days of Future Past by my friend Mark Guggenheim. Carnage book, which I don't read Carnage. There's a Loki book coming out. And that's it for Marvel. I'm not going to DC stuff.
Yeah.
But I go
over tomorrow. Yeah.
I go to the show at Ordway normally when there's a big movie, a superhero movie, because no one in my house wanted to see the comic book movies since my kids all grew up and moved away. My wife's not into comics. And Jerry, who worked in comics.
That's got to be like the best kind of person to go to see a comic book movie with.
He knows all the stuff, so I don't have to that's Lex Luthor and this is Doomsday. I mean, he knows he's drawn and written them, so he knows who they are.
That's kind of why I stopped going with groups. Like I'll just go with my partner, just because I got tired of after the movie. It's like, oh, is that how it happened in the comics? I was like, you don't care. I'm going to tell you.
No. If you listen to our podcast, you're pretty much hardcore nerd. Yeah, Jerry worked. He still works in the industry for 40 years now, so he knows all the warts and pimples and all that. So he can tell you behind the scenes stories on why things are the way they are. That the average fanboy does having a clue on how things work, and and even the movie industry, Jerry knows about how the rights work and characters, all that stuff. So it's fun.
And another fun thing about. Yeah, I was going to say another fun thing about that I love at cons is that you see your favorite creators, your celebs. They're walking around Mohegan. They're eating a donut. They're washing their hands, and you're like,
I hope so.
Yeah. They're just like, I remember this one time I was just walking through Mohegan, and I saw Jerry Ordway, and I'm like, that's Jerry Ordway, like the artist Jerry Ordway. And this family asked for him to take a photo of them. And then just like, okay, cool. Then just take the photo. And I'm just like, you don't know. Like, so it's
if you really want to see us letting our hair down, go to the Comics Country Western Bar on pretty much every night. That's where I usually end up. Because I hate country music, so that's why I go there.
Smart.
And they have the mechanical bull that you can ride, and then they have karaoke and all that. So I'll get involved with that. But we normally just stand there. And we're like soldiers coming home from World War II or something because everybody buys us drinks. So we don't have to spend a dime. And I'm really cheap. So I really enjoy that. Yeah. So we just stand there. I just sold $5,000 worth of comics because of you. I'll buy you a $4 drink. I'm like, thanks, buddy. Or like, oh, my God, I met Kevin Conroy all because of you. I'm buying. And you're like, okay. So we normally actually get more drinks than we actually drink. You'll come by. The table's full of drinks, and we're kind of like, I think that one's mine or something.
Who are you most excited about this year? I mean, you've got over 100 comic guys coming.
And every year, my wife kills me because every year before we start booking people, she goes, all right, stop with so many people. I go, it's hard to because you're always trying to top the show you did the last year. It's like, I can't. If I only get 90, they're going to say, well, last year you had 100 people. What happened? Oh, they must be in trouble. So you just keep going more and more. And I don't know. I'm like, maybe I'll get quality over quantity. Maybe I'll just get 20 all-star artists and nobody. But then that's not fair.
No,
because who I think is good might not be who you like, and might not be who Leo likes or anybody. So, and then they all come in.
He did a great arrangement or variety of artists and writers this year. I'm totally stoked. Like Tom King's there.
King's coming. Mitch Geraz is coming. Ryan.
A lot of guys we usually see out here at Chicago. I was surprised that they're doing Connecticut.
Oh yeah, from Chicago, I got Art Balthazar coming. I've got the Batman artist. I can't think of his name. Don Kramer. He's coming in from Chicago. And Phil Hester, I think, is out in the Midwest.
Yes,
I booked his flight, so I should know where he's coming from. So yeah, I try to get people that are. If you notice this year, I started putting little bubbles or spots on the homepage or the website that says first time in Connecticut, first appearance here, because that way when you go down the list, you go, oh, I know I never saw that guy because it's the first time he's in Connecticut. So if you've only stayed in cons in Connecticut, I think over a third of the guests this year are brand new. So that's kind of cool. So,
how do you make them feel at home in Connecticut? Do you get them some really good pizza? Like what do you do for them?
Oh, I just drug their drinks. They don't know what's happening.
Oh, okay.
I have a whole collection.
That's the Waterbury.
Yeah, I got a collection of kidneys. So if you need any organs, what happens is they come in and they think they're at a con, and I put something in their drink. They wake up in a bathtub full of ice with a weird scar on one side, and we take their kidneys out. So,
no way to pay for the con.
Blackmail. We usually take pictures of them in compromising positions, and they're usually pretty good about that. So, no, I think they don't know what to expect, to be honest with you, because I do a lot of comic book shows and conventions. I go to Baltimore, New York, and all that, and
I run into you all the time when
I know,
but cons.
Mostly these shows are in giant concrete cinder block buildings that are just ugly, and the facilities are it's just like being in a warehouse.
Yeah.
And there's nothing to do when you get out of there. It's like, okay, now I'm in the middle of a street in a city and there's nothing here. I mean, even New York, where Javits is, it was pretty isolated for years. Now there's a lot more going on down there, but for years it was like ghost town. So at Mohegan, I think when they walk in, they go, "Oh my God, this is like Disney World," because there's waterfalls, there's lights, there's 50 restaurants, there's if you're into gaming, there's a lot of stuff. So that just I think overwhelms a lot of the guests for the first time, and then they just like the vibe because we've got windows, which is something you don't see it a lot. I mean, you don't think about it, but natural lighting
that is
coming in, so you can actually see if you can see the sun's out, you can see blue sky. That kind of makes you feel happy, other than being in like a dungeon with fluorescent lights all day long. I don't know. I think they just really get a kick out of the environment and the venue.
Is it true that casinos pump in oxygen? I've always heard that.
I've heard that, yeah. Maybe
more lively.
Maybe that's why they're happy as people. They're high as a kite.
Spend that money.
Anybody got any advice for first-time attendees? Like,
con etiquette?
Wear good shoes. I learned that long ago. You'll see me wearing sneakers because I run around your little phone thing. If you have that thing that counts how many steps, I always know when Terrificon is because I'll see my little calendar spike up to like 35,000 steps for 3 days, and I know that was the Terrificon show.
That's the way to show everybody. Look, I work out. Drink plenty of fluids.
Yes.
If you buy a lot of stuff, the cool thing about Terrificon is you can go back to your car and put it in your car and then come back, which is a luxury that a lot of shows have. And there's free parking. So
free parking.
Love free parking.
If it's raining, you have the garage.
It's covered. It's
covered. You got Johnny Rockets, or you could, go over, Steakhouse, right? Michael Jordan.
You've got Michael Jordan Steak Restaurant. You've got Tom Zerman. You've got the Lansdowne Irish Pub. You've got the seafood place. You've got Tuscany. You've got Mollo. There are so many restaurants over there.
Don't forget Ben Jones.
My favorite one is the Hash House Go-Go, which is crazy portions. Like you get a pancake that's the size of a manhole cover.
Oh, wow.
Bobby's Burger. And then the good thing that you mentioned, Johnny Rockets, they're open to like 4 or 5 in the morning.
Yeah.
And That's where we end up being. If you want to see movie stars and artists, go to Johnny Rockets at 3:00 in the morning, because that's where you'll find me and like the Walking Dead cast, and we're all just hanging out, eating milkshakes or drinking milkshakes and greasy fries at 4 or 5 in the morning.
Yeah, that's all Kari.
Yeah.
This will be my first con ever. So
really? Oh,
yes.
All right.
I live in Nebraska, if that helps.
Oh God.
We're breaking her in the tough way.
Go to Johnny Rockets at 4:00 in the morning, and you'll find probably like 50% of my guests just hanging out, eating burgers.
Yeah, you can set up interviews for us in the morning.
No, it's just a lot of fun. It's like you said when you said you saw Jerry Ordway walk around getting pictures. Because it's all enclosed and everyone stays in there, I've heard it referred to like being in a submarine for a couple of days. Like you go in and then you don't come out for 4 or 5 days and you don't know what's happening on the outside world.
I've run into Brian Posehn there, and he wasn't even scheduled to be at the con. He
That's
was
right.
Just an attendee. I walked
He was
up
just
to him,
shopping.
Like,
yeah.
Holy shit, dude.
He's like
buying Lego.
And it's always so funny. Like, you're going to, casinos, you have people there to gamble, whatnot. And then you see people like in full cosplay and they're just they just do the nod. Like, they're like, okay, hey, how you doing? Just working.
They don't even react. It's so funny. It's like being in New York City. You'll get a Ben and Jerry's ice cream cone, and as you're sitting there, a couple stormtroopers walk by you. A couple people visiting from Florida, and then there's like Deadpool and Batman, having a conversation, and it's like okay, nothing to see here. Just a normal day here at the Mohegan Sun.
Yep. That was one of my favorite things. I would just walk around as Deadpool last year, and some people were like, "Oh, cool, nice," and I'm just like, "This is New Yorkian," no one. Yeah. They're just like, "Oh, okay, cool." So that'll be about 10:50. All right, cool. I'm like, all right, nice. So,
do cosplays pose out in the mall area with guests?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
I didn't know that. I don't leave. I'm stuck.
There'll be regular like people just walking through, and they'll run up to like a Wanda or something and be like, "Can we please get your picture?"
Really?
Yeah, they love it.
I never knew that.
Yeah, Mitch, it's because we're not as creepy as like Times Square. Entertainer.
Yeah. Give us $7.
We know it's not the Elmo suit with the dead eyes that you just keep thinking this would be the worst zombie ever.
Or what's serial killers next to me dressed like Bernie and Bert? I never thought of that. All those years, I never realized people were taking photos with cosplayers out there. Huh.
Oh yeah, the guests of the hotel and the casino probably just love. I mean, you get a lot of just stragglers from the hotels.
We do. A lot of people like have never been to a Comic-Con before, and they'll see the signs and they'll see the people in costume. They go, "What's going on over there?"
Yeah,
right.
And it's not a lot of money to come in, and they're like, "Well, I'm going to go spend whatever on a slot machine. Why don't I just drop a couple bucks and go check this out?" And they might find cool stuff that they didn't even know they wanted. Like, hey, look, there's collectibles, there's comic books, there's artwork, there's clothes, there's toys, there's movie stars, there's photo ops. I mean, there's a lot to do.
Indeed.
In that place.
And again, what I've always loved is that like the spaces, like you said, like I've been to cons where they were in warehouses. Like I remember like special edition was a warehouse like next to the water, and I was just like, you guys literally customized the warehouse. Like I walk out, there's 95 right there. I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
There's like nothing to do.
But like that out here.
Yeah, you can. I was like, my God, you can breathe. Your shoulders can do this. You don't have to worry about hitting someone in the face.
No.
So thank you for oxygen at your con.
No, and then there is a cool patio right when you walk in. I don't know if people ever see it, but right behind the information table. And I'll see lots of cosplayers out there having fun. And if you're smoking cigarettes or vaping, they go outside and do that now because you can't do it in the casino anymore or the expo center. But yeah, I mean, it's fun. If the weather's nice, if it's not 100 degrees outside,
why not?
I see people chilling out there, like getting a suntan,
So. Yeah.
So how do you measure a successful con, Mitch? How do you know that once you're done, it's like, fuck yeah, I can do this again next year?
Next year.
No, I already have guests for next year already. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I got one guest for 2025. which is going to be
Wow.
if everything works well.
Oh,
if the writer's strike gets done with, he'll be here. What's that?
I've been meaning to ask because I noticed I stalk your Facebook and stuff. You were traveling overseas to the merry old England and stuff, weren't you?
I was.
Is that to do with another con that you're?
I went over there to see why they don't do a lot of Comic Cons in England, and the truth of it was, England's a small place, and there's only about 5 or 6 creators that were living there, like Dave Gibbons, Brian Boland, Alan, and most of them go to those shows. And they told me the problem is when you're in the United States, there's a zillion comic creators here. It's, you can get people to come in. Over there, you have to fly everybody in.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a hassle. There's not a lot of big convention centers.
You got to house them.
You got to house them. You got to put them up. So it's not that easy. So I was looking into having ideas of Terrificon UK, but I don't know if that's going to happen. We'll
Mitch,
see.
you talked about 2024. Do you have any plans to do anything for the 40th anniversary of the Ninja Turtles next year? Like maybe some guests that are themed around that?
Well, maybe. If you
maybe
guys
I
like
plant the idea in your head.
No, you did, because I'm old. My birthday was yesterday. I'm 57 years old.
Happy birthday.
Congratulations.
I'm as old as a ketchup bottle now. Yeah. So Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I saw the movie when it came out, the live action, but by the time the cartoon was going, I was too old. I did buy the comic from Laird and Eastman themselves out of the trunk of their car.
Nice.
In New Haven. I bought issue
3.
They were at the comic shop called Book World on Chapel Street, New Haven, and they popped open the trunk and they had issue 1, issue 2, and issue 3. And I had them in my hand and I opened them up and I went, ugh, they're black and white. What the hell is it? $1? You want me to pay $1 for a black and white comic? I can go buy Spider-Man for 60 cents and it's in color. And they were like, oh, come on, really, dude? We drove down from Massachusetts, from like East Hampton or wherever. And I'm like, oh, all right. And I was guilted into buying issue 3. And they signed it in pen on the inside, both of them. And I took it and I threw it in my locker because I hated the book.
Oh, no.
And years later, no, I still have it. I made sure it wasn't beat up. And it's worth a couple grand now. But I'm like, so that's my experience with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I missed the boat.
I would go for that number 1.
Renee's coming, the voice of April O'Neil.
Renee Jacobs is coming, because even though I wasn't a big fan, I'm not immune to the fact that other people were. So I got her coming as well. So
and I swear, Mitch, the entire time you were talking, I know Justin is like he's our resident shellhead, and I'm just watching his reactions. He's telling the story, and I just keep thinking like, please let nothing happen to that comic. Justin's gonna have a stroke.
No, it's here somewhere. Actually, I think it's in a folder somewhere.
Yeah,
it's not bound or anything like that.
How cool, man!
I've 1 through 63.
Do you really?
Yeah, except for my number 1's a 4th print. So the number 1's, it's not worth the $20,000 that a first print's worth, but it's still cool.
No, I mean. Hey man, there's stuff that I like that never took off. Like some of those comics, like Jerry Ordway drew a comic book based on action figures that could turn into rocks.
Oh yeah,
they were like the Rock Lords, and he talks about that. I go, dude, nobody wanted to buy a rock. That turns into there's robots in disguise, and then there's rocks in disguise. It's like. It's a rock. When it's not a robot, it's a rock, and it doesn't seem to get the imagination going.
He should have did it when My Pet Rock came out, and then
they missed the boat on that.
Yeah, then it's gone.
Thinking big, or was that
that's all the.
I think it was called Rock Lords or something like that.
Yeah, all the Charlie Browns in the world were like, no,
I got a rock. Yeah,
exactly. I got Optimus Prime. I got a rock.
Well, you know what? G.I. Joe was big. I had G.I. Joe issue 1, and I sold it for $30 because I'm like, oh, I don't like this. They're this big now. When I was a kid, G.I. Joe was 12 inches. Yep. Yeah. So
no, I get it. I had the first appearance of Venom, and I've read it to shreds, and I regret that so much now.
Oh, I had the first Wolverine, Hulk 181. I had the first giant size X-Men that I bought for 50 cents that I don't know what the hell happened to them. So
yeah, no, my mom had, I think, the first appearance of Green Goblin like way back, and I was like, oh my God,
Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah, but her my late grandfather burned it.
Yeah, my dad had all the 1940s comics, first Superman, first Wonder Woman, first Green Lantern. He saved them all, but when he went to the Marine Corps in 1957, came home 4 years later, and what happened? His mother, my grandmother, threw them all away. So that's what started this, actually. When I was a kid, my dad started buying me comic books, and he told me, don't let anybody throw these away on you like Grandma did to me. So that's what started the OCD in an inadvertent way, and that's what's got stacks of comic books all around me, and that's why I didn't become a doctor and cure cancer, or a lawyer and solve world peace problems and war and all that. So
I have them all around me because my mom did give them away, and I was like, "Screw
I'm
her!
getting them all back.
I'm an adult now.
I will do this. I will spend money and get the crap that you threw away on me." Yeah. Sorry.
So there was one thing, Mitch, I did want to ask you, because we both share a very much appreciation for Indiana Jones.
Oh yeah.
And I know you saw the latest film. This is me. What were your non-spoilery opinions about it? I thought it was great. I thought it was a nice ending to the whole thing.
I've got my VIP pass right there from
that's awesome.
Oh, nice.
The LA premiere with Harrison Ford himself. Non-spoiler. Non-spoiler. It's a fine movie. It's a good Indiana Jones story. It's not the one I would have told. It's not one that's going to bring in new fans, but I see what they did. They bookended it. There's not many characters out there other than like Luke Skywalker or the Star Wars saga where you've actually got a beginning and an end. I mean, Darth Vader, you got Anakin till Darth Vader, you got Luke till the end. So there's not a lot of these stories that tell you a complete lifetime of this character. So that's kind of cool that they ended it the way they did. That's about it. I'm just, you know what? It's been frustrating because I don't know what people want anymore when it comes to movies. Because I see that Barbie and Oppenheimer pre-sales are through the roof. And I don't want to ruin it for anybody, but Oppenheimer ends with they built the A-bomb and they dropped it twice. I know. Spoiler alert.
Whoa.
That's how that movie is. And Barbie is a plastic action figure. I don't know. But it's selling more tickets than Indiana Jones and the Flash. That's for sure.
I don't know. I agree with you, Mitch, because I heard that they're doing a thing where it's a double header.
I heard that too. Yeah, Oppenheimer, Barbie. Yeah.
Yeah, Barbenheimer.
Wow.
So,
yeah. And I'm just thinking myself. I'm like, you watch Oppenheimer first, and then you do Barbie. Yeah. You have to, because you can't just go with that high and then.
So it's like a publicity stunt. It's like the ice bucket challenge.
Right. When they re-released Morbius, right?
Morbius. Yeah. So what we're saying is we're not going to see the movie based on artistic merit or quality. We're going to see it for a stunt. We're going to see, I saw both of them.
Yeah.
I went to this town and got this crappy T-shirt. That's what they're doing.
Pretty much.
Okay. Makes no sense. But sure.
Yeah, I was just like, it was one of those where, why does this work? And yet I'm frustrated at it.
Well, you know what? We have a guest coming to Terrificon that just signed up in the last couple of weeks named Greg Sestro. Do you guys know who this guy is? He did a movie called The Room.
Oh, yeah.
It's one of the worst movies ever made. Yep. He's come to Terrificon. I had no idea what the hell The Room was until I met the guy.
Oh, my God.
It's insane. He's made a career, a 20-year career
off of a bad movie.
On a bad movie. And I'm like,
the Citizen Kane of bad movies.
Yes.
Yes.
That's crazy. It's like, wait, it sucks and everybody knows it sucks, but that's a good thing? They're like, yeah. I'm like, hey, I guess.
So,
Get the
so
cast
he does
control
know
too.
it sucks?
I mean, hey,
because I was always worried if you interviewed the guy, like being like, so you made the
Your movie
worst
sucks.
movie ever. Like, how do you feel about this?
That's a badge of honor, I guess.
I guess so.
Do you go into this saying I'm going to get up today and make the worst piece of shit on celluloid ever, or do you go in thinking I'm making Citizen Kane and this is going to be a movie that is going to be taught in colleges or something, and everyone's going to have a copy of it, and then this happens? So I'd really like to know, what did they know going into it that it was a disaster? Did you have a feeling like, oh, there's no way this is going to work?
I don't know. I just want to bring a football and see if Will can just throw a football together like they do in the movie for like no reason. You know, he'll show up in a tuxedo.
Oh, you've watched the movie, Drew?
I have seen The Room. It changed me in a way that I didn't expect. And then I saw The Disaster Artist, which I thought did a great job.
That was great.
At just explaining, at celebrating how and why, but at the same time, the phenomena of how this is a horrible, dismal movie, but yet beautiful. And it was just great. You know, plus, you know, doing a Tommy Wiseau impression is always funny. And, you know.
I watched The Phantom Menace. I'm pretty sure they thought that was going to be good. And then it happened.
Yeah.
Hey, that movie's now becoming, because of the later movies, people are saying that Phantom Menace and stuff are good now. So
and if it wasn't for that, you wouldn't have a nickname, so it can't be all bad.
Exactly.
It's true. And you know, but
by the way, that's my request for next year. If you could get
Ahmed Best.
Okay. I would be by next year, though. He'll probably be so popular and stuff, I'll never be able to get through a line with him.
True story. We've seen that line before, buddy. It's pretty long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was before he showed up in Mando.
That's right. He saved Baby Yoda.
Yeah, he got redeemed with his double lightsaber action. I was just like,
that's couldn't wait until after I met him. Damn him.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Mitch, for that non-spoilery review.
I could go. I'm on like 5 podcasts going in depth about it, including my own show, the Power Cosmic Podcast. So if you want to hear what I really think about Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, I have an 11-point program that I'll come to your house and explain what happened and what happened. How would you like to be in a room with George Lucas and Steven Spielberg and Harrison Ford and John Williams and Kathleen Kennedy and Frank Marshall and hundreds of Indiana Jones fans dressed like Indiana Jones, and the lights come up after you just watch the movie and you're like, what do I say? Well. They're all here. And then you get a text from Short Round inviting you to the after party with the cast, and you're like,
shut your mouth, and then you go, right?
Yeah, that's basically what happened.
You put the hat on and
we were the only ones dressed like Indiana Jones in a party of normal people. It looked like a bad episode of The Big Bang Theory. Wow. They're all hanging around, like Harrison Ford's like eating a cocktail weenie, like, look at that loser over there dressed like, who the hell's he supposed to be? I'm dressed like you.
Did he avoid you like the plague?
Probably.
Well, but still, man. But
have you? I was just gonna ask. Have you watched any of his recent works for the shows that he's doing, like Shrinking and?
He's great. He's great in Shrinking. He's great in 1923. He's evolved into the Hollywood school of growling acting, which is like Al Pacino and Clint Eastwood. You just kind of talk like you've got some really bad sore throat, and you just gotta go, hey, Jeremy. And you're just kind of like, I don't know what. It's kind of like a silverback gorilla, you know? It's like, hey, Justin, you're a pretty man. I like the way I like the way your shirt looks.
You got
Leo. Yes. You got some pretty glasses there, Leo. It's like Sling Blade with personality.
I was just about to say, like,
fried potatoes.
Yeah.
French fried
Sling Blade.
You like the way he talks. You like the way he talks.
I'm gonna have to kill you now.
Needs gas.
Yeah. So Indiana Jones meets Sling Blade. I don't know why they didn't come out with that movie.
There you go. I can't wait to go get that Dial of Destiny.
It works.
You do have young Indiana Jones coming.
I do.
Which
Sean
is amazing.
Patrick Flannery. I'm like, does he still go by Patrick in the middle anymore, or SPF?
Yeah.
He says SPF 50 will be there.
Powder. I mean,
I'm coming out of retirement to host that panel. So be there because
really?
Because I interviewed him years ago for the IndieCast, the world's only Indiana Jones podcast, and now I'm coming back to torture the poor boy once again. It's like, remember me? Now you're in my world. But he's done a lot of cool stuff. People don't realize he was beyond Young Indy. He was just on The Boys last year. He was the sidekick to
Was he Gunpowder?
Yes, he was the Captain America's sidekick. What's the Super Soldier?
Right. And he's got
Soldier Boy. That was the
Boy.
Yeah, he was but he's had such a great, and it's funny because I feel like a lot of people will be like, oh, they'll remember Boondock Saints.
Yes.
Powder.
Dead Zone. Yeah.
Thank you. I was gonna say I loved him as Stilson in the Dead Zone.
I was gonna say he was in Saw. If you saw,
he was in Saw 5. I think
Saw 5. It was all right. Yeah.
Yeah, and but he's
Devil's
awesome.
Carnival. If you want to go real deep.
Where?
Right.
Now,
There you
guys,
go.
seen that? It's a musical that he was in called The Devil's Carnival.
He's got a new movie out about being possessed or something. I haven't seen it yet, but I heard it's really good.
Yeah.
So
I just feel like when you're talking to them, it really does help to do the research because, like you said, like they've probably been asked 1,000 things. Like sometimes they like to talk about like young Indy, like what was that like? Because it's touching on something that, like you said, maybe something people don't know. But a lot of times when people are doing interviews and stuff, it can be posted online. So share the story.
When you guys have done conventions, you go to press rooms, they usually give you a packet with some background information on the actor and what they've done. So when you sit down, if you're smart, you'll read about it so you know what to ask and you're familiar with the actor. I'm really bad at not reading that stuff. So I had one interview come down and I kept calling the guy Babe for the entire interview. I said, "Hey, Babe, I got another question." He goes, "I love that you're calling me Babe." And then at the end, I said, "Do you want to know why I'm calling you that? I have no idea who the hell you are." And he was like, "What?" I'm like, I don't know. I suppose you're a nice man. But,
wow.
Hey,
now we find out that was like Henry Winkler or something.
No.
He would know who Henry Winkler is.
No, I walked out. I'll tell you, I interviewed Frank Darabont, the director of Shawshank Redemption. And when The Walking Dead was just about to start the next night, it was him and Robert Kirkman. I didn't know who the hell Robert Kirkman was.
Oh, wow.
I'm sitting across the table from Darabont. I knew Darabont.
Right.
So I'm the whole time I'm talking to him about movies, and he wrote an Indiana Jones script too before Crystal Skull. And he worked, and so I was all into that. So Kirkman, I didn't know who he was. Everybody gets up. Andrew Lincoln and John Bernthal sit down next to do the interview. Everybody was getting out of the table. I was the last one. They go, "Where are you going?" I said, "Oh, I've got to go interview a guy about Indiana Jones in the next room." And they go, "Don't you want to talk to us?" I go, What's the movie that you're in? What's the show?" They go, "The Walking Dead." I go, "What's it about?" And he goes, "Oh, it's about zombies. And I play a police officer in Atlanta." And he's got a British accent. I go, wait a minute. You're a police officer in Atlanta, but you talk like that?" He goes, "Well, I act." And I go, "All right." And when Bernthal, I go, "What do you do?" He's like, "Well, I'm his deputy, man, and I'm in the movie and all this stuff." I go, "All right, well, good luck to you guys. I hope it works out. I don't like horror movies and everything." And they're like, "Well, I hope I have a mortgage to pay. I hope it works out too." So I blew them off. Wow. So the next year, I go back to the New York Comic Con. Walking Dead is a big hit, #1 thing in the world. I'm sitting across from Andrew Lincoln again, and he's looking at me. And
Did he remember you?
And he goes, "Do I know you?" And I go, "No, I don't think so." He goes, No, we've met, right? And I go, "No." And he goes, "Wait a minute. Weren't you the chap last year that walked out because he had something else to do and didn't want to talk to me?" I go, I think something like that happened. Yeah. And he goes, I bet you're kicking yourself now. I go, yeah, pretty much.
A little bit.
And he didn't answer any of my questions. So, oops. So be careful who you
folks.
Be careful who you blow off at conventions.
So.
They never know.
We learned that.
Yeah, it's happening.
Yeah, we've learned that. I think, Leo, we kind of learned one or two of those at Rhode Island last year.
Yeah, you walk away from somebody, you're like, uh-oh.
Yeah, you wait online to find out that they didn't want to do an interview, and you're like, I could have done other people. I waited in line, and then, I'm so sorry, and then, don't be mad. I'm like, I wasted 45 minutes. I could have got Mr. Feeney, but I wasted it on you. Like, you. I didn't say that, but
Yeah, but you were thinking about it.
Oh, it was foul. Red.
Oh, and speaking of Indiana Jones, not spoiler, I interviewed an actor. I didn't know his name. He was a German actor, and as he's talking to me, I'm looking at him and I go, "Why do I know this guy?" And I go, "You're Baron Strucker from Captain America movie." He's like, "Yes, I played Baron Wolfgang von Strucker." I was like, "I knew it was you!" Like I'm thinking he's the real guy. Like, Hail Hydra, mother. So anyway,
I found you.
And he was in some show called Lore, which was based on a podcast about folklore, and he was in an episode. So I was there for that.
Okay.
And I said, "You would be a great Nazi in an Indiana Jones movie if they were making one." He goes, "Oh, well, thanks a lot." And this is 2019. I'm watching the Indiana Jones movie, Dial of Destiny. I'm sitting in the crowd, go, "That's the guy. That's my." I'm like the Leo DiCaprio pointing at the screen, going, "That's the Nazi guy I interviewed back in 2019. I told him he should be in an Indiana Jones movie, and there he was." And Thomas Kretschmann or something. He was in King Kong, that long Peter Jackson movie. He played the boat captain.
Oh, okay,
yeah. So anyway, he's in Indiana Jones.
Nice. That's awesome.
Anyway, so be careful on who you blow off at these shows.
Okay, Leo, don't be a jerk. Okay.
I'll try not to. I'll try not to.
Mitch, you understand? It's been a year. He developed a real attitude. Me and Jeremy and Rich, we have to keep him in check. His ego, his good year told him no.
Oh well, Leo developed that USI Incorporated, home of the laminator. That's where I learned all my stuff. So that's right. Nobody knows what we're talking about, Leo.
Nope.
Absolutely not. I just smile nod because I don't want to blow you off, Mitch. Because then, you want to come to my con?
The guy that does that.
Yeah.
Mitch, with all your guests that you have you had any really strange contract writers or things that you've had to get?
That's a good. I had to get 2 pounds of cashews, 2 glasses of whole milk, and 2 cheeseburgers for Kevin Smith. That was weird. He didn't even eat the cashews. It was
It's a baller move.
I was going to make a joke about all green M&Ms, but suddenly
no. Leo is mean.
Yeah.
Facebook user, if you go to StreamYard.com/Facebook, we'll see who you are. Just letting you know.
Unless you want to be incognito.
That's fine. That's the only weird one we ever had. You never know. Some people have different names. Some people stay at different hotels. There's a lot of weird stuff that goes on.
Anybody you were trying to get for this year that was just not possible?
There's always
maybe coming next year.
There's people. I'll tell you, people that we almost had over the years that kind of got messed up. Chadwick Boseman before the Black Panther came out.
Wow.
And I had his contract for 3 days, and it was not that much money compared to what other people wanted. And I remember talking to Mohegan Sun, and they were like, "Who?" I said, "Chadwick Boseman. He played Jackie Robinson. He was, it was before he became a big deal in Black Panther." And they were like, "Nah, that's not a household name." And then the movie came out in February, and then when I called him back, his fee went from a little bit to $250,000 in a private jet, and that didn't happen. Yeah. Oh, Keanu Reeves. We almost had Keanu Reeves one year before John Wick. He was going to take the train from New York City to Mohegan Sun, which was like so. And everyone's like, the guy from Bill and Ted. I'm like, yeah, he's got some new movie coming out. They go, what movie? It's something called John Quick or something. We don't know what it is, but it's going to be a big hit. Well, let's wait and see. And then he ended up having to go to Italy to go film the sequel to John Wick. And yeah, that was a mistake. Oops. But those are the two that I know that we almost had that got screwed up.
It would have been cool meeting Keanu Reeves,
even
if
it
it
would have
was
been
just Bill
so cool.
or Ted.
Who else would I like to get? I always would like to have Mark Hamill, and I've had God rest his soul. I had Kevin Conroy twice.
Yeah,
and I always wanted to have the two of them together at the same time.
That's where I met him.
Cool. Yeah,
I met him when he was there. Was it 2015?
2015 he was there, and then he was here last year.
Yeah, next to John Wesley Shipp, and
he was.
That was awesome. And I mean, he's like,
I love
coming,
John
my kids
Wesley
are like,
Shipp.
"Who are you?" He goes, "I'm Batman." And no, you're not. And then he goes, "I am Batman." And the kid's eyes just go like this. Like, oh my God.
He would do that whole routine, and I know something was going on. When we were in 2015, that was the first year at Mohegan Sun, and you would see this crowd of people. You'd be like, what's going on over there? And then you'd see him stand up on the table or the chair, and you hear, I am the night, I am vengeance, I am Batman. And all of a sudden, everyone, ah! You just see people screaming. He would do that all weekend long, like every hour or two. You'd see, I am the night. I'm like, oh my God, it's Kevin Conroy. Such a nice
guy. We got
guy.
him to sing the song from Justice League.
Did you really?
I'm So Blue. Yeah. Yeah, he sang the whole song for us. It was
no
great.
way. Really?
Whoa, I wish we had it. Yeah.
Oh, he was such a sweet guy. He just
really liked us. So I gotta.
He
was really
he's
nice.
from Connecticut.
Yeah, and
he lived in Westport, and he would just take the train, Metro North, down to Shoreline East, and get off the train, get the shuttle, come over, do the show, go home. No private jet, no hotel suite, no green M&Ms. One of the nicest guys we ever had at the show, next to Henry Winkler, who's also a saint. That guy,
absolutely.
But
yeah, we were talking to him about like the Ridgefield Playhouse and all like the Connecticut stuff that everybody knows. It's like, oh, what about the Goodspeed Opera House? And like when you have that connection because you're from the same area, it's like, yeah, we were in.
Oh, he was. He was. I had no appearance fees with him, no guarantees. He's like, where is it? Connecticut? I'm from Connecticut. I go, I know, I'll be there. And he'd welcome to come to Connecticut. It was so nice. And that, sadly, that was the last show he ever was at. Yeah. And it was kind of fitting that he got to come home. And I always kind of like, because he was saying how much things changed and he'd see it in the train and he really enjoyed coming back home to Connecticut. So sad, but it was sweet that he got to come back one more time before he passed away. But yeah, he was a great guy.
Well, Mitch, you've always had such reverence for Batman. I mean, I remember the year Adam West was supposed to come.
Yes,
to Terrificon, and he passed, and I was so sad because I got to meet him with Burt Woolley back in 2015, and my girlfriend was so excited to finally meet him. And he passed, but you had his banner, and you had all of us fans
we signed it,
signing it, and it was just so. It was just so great, just like you said, like contributing to that. And you had the bat signal,
and we turned the Q&A special with him into a tribute to the Batman Adam West tribute, because we had Burt Ward there, Robin, we had Lee Merriweather there, who was one of the Catwomen from the movie, and it was supposed to be Adam West, and it was supposed to be our big salute to Batman that year. And 2 months before the show, he passed away from leukemia.
Yeah,
and the best part of that was I went to meet him in Massachusetts 3 months earlier, and we filmed a bunch of commercials to promote Terrificon.
Right.
And I had them all on my phone. And obviously I couldn't use them because he passed away. So we did the tribute, and we had our friend Bob DeSimone, who does the 66 Batman cosplay, but he's also a singer. He's a Bobby Darin, Frank Sinatra impersonator.
Oh, nice.
Singer.
Oh, right.
I had him in a tuxedo with the bat cowl on, and he came on and he's saying, ain't that a kick in the head? And we changed all the words to like, the Joker once said, boom, hey. And we had all the bow, bam, piff on the projection screen as he was doing it. So, and we had clips of the old 66 show. So I come out after Burt Ward talks about Adam West, after Lee Merriweather, and we were going to show the 66 movie. And I said, hey, everybody, thank you for coming. We wish Adam could be with us. And we had a bat phone on stage with the little cake dish on top of it. And all of a sudden, I said, okay, we're going to show them. All of a sudden, the phone started lighting up. And went beep, beep. And I'm like, what's that? And I said, hold on a minute, folks. And I picked up the phone. I said, hello? Oh, okay. And I said, folks, we've got a special caller. It's extremely long distance, but he said he'd keep his word and he'd never let you guys down. And I said, can we put that on? And the screen came up and there was Adam West from the commercials. And he goes, hey, Mohegan son, this is Adam West and I'm going to come and see you. And I can't wait to see you or something like that. So I'm going to be here with you at the Mohegan Sun. And I go, well, you know, Batman would never have lied to you. He's here. And you could have heard a pin drop and that place. And we just faded to black and we just put the spotlight on the red phone and then it just went out. The light went out.
That's
and
so
then
cool.
And you heard grown men in their 60s and 70s sobbing in the chairs. And I was like, oh, man. And then we showed the movie, but there were literally guys were outside in the hallway like, and Burt Ward comes up to me, goes, can I have that footage? I go, why? He goes, I got chills, Mitch. That was like, I can't even describe what that was like. I go, really? I mean, these are Hollywood actors. They've been through a lot of and they were like breathtaking. They were like, oh, they couldn't believe that we put that together. And I was like, no, it's just pure luck. And I think that was one of the highlights. If you ask me, like, of all the years I've done the show, I think getting everybody to take a moment and remember Adam West that way, that was like probably the best moment, you know.
I'm really mad that I missed that panel now because I was at that.
And sadly, I don't think it's even on video. I don't think anyone ever videotaped it. And then we had another night with Kevin Smith, another Kevin, and he did his one-man act. And there was a Vietnam veteran. I think it was either Gulf War veteran, I believe. And he had come down from a veteran's home up in Vermont or New Hampshire. It was upstate, up north. And he had some issues with depression. And he just said, you know, Kevin, I got to say that your movies, Clerks and Dogma and Chasing Amy, have helped me in some really dark times in my life because I've had some thoughts that, you know, I don't want to be here anymore. But watching you and the humor, it brings a smile. It lightens my day. And I just want to thank you. And Kevin Smith just started bawling and he came out and the two of them just hugged each other for a couple minutes because the guy was like, I don't know if I'm going to go on anymore. And he's like, oh, no. It's going to be okay. And those are the moments that it's not a comic book convention. It's not about getting your CGC book. It's not about getting an autograph. Right. It's just human emotion that just happens when you're with a large group of people. It's the good qualities that my mom always tells me whenever things go really shitty in the world and I go off on my cynicism. I go, God, look at what the effing they did now. They killed this guy and they just blew up this country. There's a war. And I'm always like so negative. And my mom's like, you got to remember there's still good out there in the world and there's still good people. Don't let the jerks take over and make you one of them. And then when I see these little moments like that, you know, a complete stranger who served his country, who's had some problems, gets to meet a guy from Jersey who does a bunch of dumb comedies, but they connect on a level you don't know, and it's actually saved this guy's life somehow, and he just wants to say thank you. And that's the stuff that it's not about selling a ticket. It's not about, you know, doing commercials, not about podcasts or whatever. That's the stuff that I've been honored to like help orchestrate and make it happen somehow. I mean, I didn't go in purposely to make that happen, but I've watched it. I've watched people get married at our show. I haven't seen anybody, make a baby at our show, but I'm pretty sure it's happened.
Oh, I'm sure. Those bathrooms are full all the time. Those bathrooms
are, and they're really clean too.
Very spooky.
But no, I've seen little kids, faces light up because they think that is Spider-Man, or that is Batman, or that is
to say,
Boba Fett.
and watching little kids run up to like a Batman or a Spider-Man and be like, "Oh my god!"
Well, you're right in the hallway when they come in. So we have the first there, and the kids they think it's like my kids when we go to Disney World when they were little and they saw Chip and Dale and Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck, and they just get like, shaken, and they think it's so exciting and real. So that's fun to watch.
Yeah. It's crazy how many kids run up to Velvet when.
Oh yeah, that's true too.
Oh my God! Yeah.
Rich.
Who's that? Oh yeah, Rich CT. Oh, Velvet Joker now.
Yeah. He changed since he moved away.
Yeah.
Well,
his laughter is known throughout the artist alley.
Oh yeah.
Some people want to kill him. I've been there and watched I've been in New York Comic Con and he laughs and I see people get the X-Acto knives out and go, "I'm going to kill that guy." I know him. He's a friend of mine. They're like, "You know that guy?" Yeah.
Yeah, he's a friend from work.
Yeah, don't let him come over here. I'm going to slice his throat. It's like,
but
what?
And I will say, Mitch, I do thank you because I had one of my best experiences with Kevin Conroy at your con. It was the year that he was there, and I was dressed as old Bruce Wayne from Batman Beyond. And I was so nervous because it was my first time doing the character. I'd spent the whole summer studying the voice, getting the tone right, practicing, and it was my first time wearing old man makeup and whatnot. And I went and I met him, and he knew exactly who I was. And I talked to him in the voice, and he told me, he's like, "Wow, that's really good. Thank you." And I told him, and I said, I just want to, I paid for, I got to sign my Batman Beyond, but I was like, I want a photo of you. And I was like, can I get a photo of you where you're shaking my hand and you say the line? And he was like, yeah, totally. So he shakes my hand and he looks dead at me with that, Batman says "Welcome to my world."
Yeah.
And I said to my girlfriend, I was like, I don't need to get any comics signed. I don't need to get any photos.
I could die now. I'm happy.
Anybody. I'm good. And then it's also because of you, I got to meet Will Friedle. He was there one year.
A Connecticut guy.
Another Connecticut guy,
from Newington. He's a huge MASH fan too. I know that. And
for my kids.
And
one of the nicest guys ever too. Another nice guy.
Yeah. And I did the same thing. I got a photo with him, and it was just. And I said, I was like, man, if I just get a photo with Mark, I mean, I can just retire this old man. I can metaphorically bury him.
Yeah.
But thank you, because like you said, those are the moments, and like you said, it doesn't matter. And these guys, they're always joking me like, "How many you have in your suitcase now, Drew?" Because Mr. Signature. I think last year Leo was like, "How do you carry this? This is a boulder."
Yeah.
And I'm just like, you mean this guy? I'll just carry this, Hey.
It's funny you mentioned Will Friedle because when that folks got married on the steps in 2017, I look over and there's Will videotaping the whole thing on his phone, another nerd. I'm like, what are you doing, buddy? So.
They were huge out here at C2. They had the whole Boy Meet World.
Oh yeah, did they? Yeah. All right, that's one there. Trying to think of some other good stories that we've had with people over the years. John Wesley Shipp is coming back. I think this is his fifth time with me.
Nice.
Or
Great guy.
He
was the first celebrity media guest I ever had when I used to do one-day shows here in Trumbull at the Trumbull Marriott. And he called me and he's like, "Hey," and he wasn't on the Flash yet. He was just the old Flash, how I knew him.
Right.
And he showed up. He was filming a sci-fi channel movie nearby, and he said, "Hey, would you mind if I came in?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, okay." And we didn't have a table for him. We had a patio outside because it was made for weddings, like a wedding factory. And I called it the Power Patio. And there's the Great Gazebo. And I just renamed everything to make it sound more comic booky. And we put him out there, and we had our costume party out there, costume contest, under a tent. That's designed for, like I said, for the bride and the groom and stuff because there was no room. And John's dad was a preacher down south, like a minister or a Baptist minister or something. And he says to me, because we were doing sketches up on stage, the local DJ here, the Wigmaster from WPLR.
Oh, nice.
And we were up there, and we had another Leo from a show called Con Men, Leo Marinek, was dressed as Superman, and we had a whole sketch that the Wigmaster was going to drink a kryptonite cocktail, and we had a green glowing rock in it, and he was going to become stronger than Superman, and I had a fake steel bar, and we had this whole thing. He's like, oh, where there'll be nobody to stop me. I am the Wigmaster. I reign supreme. And Leo was supposed to come out as Superman and go, I'll stop you. And they were supposed to have a fake fight on stage. Well, it's hard to take a leak when you're dressed as Superman. So Leo left to go to the bathroom, and he couldn't get the costume on in time. So when we're up on stage, I had seen Leo in the back, but now he's gone, and we're doing the routine. And then I go, is there not a Man of Steel in the house that will save the day? And we go to look, and there's no Superman. And we're like, oh, God, no. And there was a guy in the audience wearing a suit. I go, there's one. And the guy's like, what? You, sir, you get up here. And we're stalling and trying to figure out where the hell Leo is. And we're like, somebody go get Leo. Go get Superman. Go get Superman. And John Shipp is dying watching all this. He's like, I'm not the Man of Steel, but I'm the fastest man alive. Well, I do. And he comes up on stage and stalls for a little bit until Superman finally shows up. And Shipp says to me, this was like a backyard church carnival or something. He said the atmosphere, the vibe in the room, it was like, it wasn't a comic book convention. It was literally like a neighborhood block party, because we're all out there having fun and we're all knowing each other by their first name. And oh, there's crazy Uncle Jerry Ordway. He drew Superman. Hey, Jerry, get over here. And there's Uncle Paul Kupperberg, and we're just, it's just everybody was on the same playing field, whether you're a fan or a professional. And it's, even though it's bigger now, we've got like 25,000 people as opposed to 5,000 people. It's still, I still hope it has that feeling that, hey, there's Leo, there's Jar Jar, there's Drew.
There's go there
Kari.
Every year.
Yeah.
We say hi. It feels like a family reunion.
Yeah.
Just through, like Matt Herring will be there, even walking up to John Wesley Shipp, like seeing him again, be like, "Hey, John."
Yeah, and he remembers people. They're like, "Hey, I remember you."
Oh, when Neil Adams was there.
Oh, Neil, another great guy. God rest his soul.
Oh yeah.
My most fun is, and this is I got to get in shape for it. Is before the doors open, I go out there, and they go, Mitch, the line's down the street, and it literally is down the freaking hallway. Down to the lobby, past the lobby to Michael Jordan. So what I do is I run down the entire line, and I put my hand, hey, thanks for coming. Oh, you look great. And I see all the costumes. I go running through, and I stop at the very end to get the last person in line. I go, come on, you're coming with me. And I drag them all the way up to the front. And I go, you get to go in first. And they're like, what the hell? I go, shut up. You want to go, don't you? Like, yeah. So they're like, and as I'm running down the aisle with the guy, I hear, hey, Mitch, can I take a picture? I'm like, no, go to hell. And I'm just like going by. And they're like, hey, Mitch, I'm like, shut up. Like, hey, I don't like you. The hell with you. And I'm just going through. And then I come up and we go, open the doors. And then the doors open up. And that's like the most fun. But I'll do that on Friday. I try to do it on Saturday, but my wife kills me. She goes, where the hell are you? I go, I'm out front saying hello to the customers. She goes, you've been going for 25 minutes. I go, the damn line goes all the way across the freaking casino. I'm literally like a half a mile away from the door by that point. And then I got to run all the way back. So I should get a scooter. I should get one of those little mobiles when I start getting older. When you see me in the Lark going by with the handout.
Is that a rascal?
I need a rascal.
Yeah.
with cans on the back, like Terrificon rocks.
Honk for Terrificon.
Yeah, right. So that's fun. I mean, I wanted to have a guy get shot out of a cannon, but they wouldn't let me do it. There's a lot of circus stuff going on behind the scenes that you guys never see, because Mohegan and my lawyer shoots it down.
Yeah.
No. I literally wanted to get a guy to get fired out of a cannon and get shot over the expo center dressed as Superman the first year we were there with the tagline, you'll believe a con can fly. Jeez. And I got the guy. I talked about it. I looked into the insurance. Mohegan was like, are you insane? I'm like, no. They go, what if he misses? I go, oh, I didn't think of that.
Yeah.
Well, Bobcat Goldthwait's my neighbor. I'll put in a good word.
Yeah, right. I was like a Super Dave Osborne type of thing,
Super Dave.
You ever do anything?
No, I was going to say last year we had a guitar solo right in the middle of the show. Were you there for that?
Yeah.
Yeah, some people didn't like that. One of the vendors goes, "It's a Comic-Con, not a rock show." I go, "You're wrong, man. It's a rock show."
What are they talking about? I've seen Jethro Tull there like 8 times.
I know.
You've got to believe.
Had GamerCon, and they're really good. On the drums is insane.
Yes. At my other show, GamerCon, that young kid and his dad. Yeah.
So
they are
Mitch,
really good.
I have one question, Mitch. Like every year, there's a hot costume, and like I remember last time it was Stranger Things. There was a lot of Eddies. There was a lot of
Eddies. Yeah.
And it's funny because I remember sitting in the booth and I came up with a new term because you see Eddie, but then you see Eddie with a guitar. Yeah. And I was like, no, guys, we need to call those shreddies because he's ready. He's going to play the guitar.
Yeah, that's
and whatnot. So what do you think is this year's hot costume? What do you think we're going to see a lot of?
Depending on what the box office is next week, I want to see somebody come as Barbie inside a Fat Boy and Little Man.
Nice.
Adam Bombshell. They could be a blonde bombshell.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, I'm writing it right here. Boom, boom, boom. Hey, so you got to be a blonde wig on top of a nuclear bomb. And that'll if you're watching and you wear that costume, you win. No.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
I
it.
want to see
getting a bomb.
I want to see a Captain Terrificon. I want to see someone come dressed as Captain Terrificon. I would wear it myself, but I'm a little out of shape at the moment.
I think we're going to see a lot of Harleys since you have Amanda Connor there and Jimmy
I think
Palmiotti.
We're going to see. Everyone asks what the theme is at my shows because that's another thing. I kind of do like a Batman theme, a Spider-Man theme. Mm-hmm. This theme was out there. No one even picked up on it. You guys didn't even see it. Okay. You have, see if you can pick this up.
Okay.
You got Jonathan Frakes, Jeannie Francis.
Yep.
You got Jimmy Palmiotti. You got Amanda Connor.
Husband and wife.
You got Jim Ballant. You got his wife, Holly Golightly. You've got, it's coincidentally, it's my 30th wedding anniversary this year. So there was tons of like, oh, there's another married couple. Oh, there's another couple. Oh, there's another couple. There's another couple. There's another couple. And I said, oh, yeah, inadvertently, maybe subconsciously, because I was like, oh, what am I going to do for my 30th wedding anniversary? I somehow managed to book a lot of married couples to the show this year. I'm like, oh, my God, there's like 8 different people. And I did that for one reason. It's cheaper because they only need 1 hotel room, and I don't have to get 2 hotel rooms. So that's why I really did it. So it has
Listen,
nothing to do with love.
If you want to learn how to run a con, listen to this man.
That's
the
right.
Secret to Mitch's success.
I've met people that didn't listen to this man, and they're not doing as well.
Where are those people today?
Where are they exactly?
Indeed.
Yeah.
Probably running podcasts.
Probably doing that now. You know what I have learned in 12 years? And I know Leo, and I know Jeremy and Drew, and I haven't met Kari yet, but I will. And Justin, the restraining order, once it's lifted, you and I will be like this again.
Yeah.
But,
look outside.
You know what's yeah. Ah! Gotta get curtains. It's a small community, which you guys know. Because when we're New England, we're like the incestuous part of the country.
Yep.
You know, everybody knows each other. They've dated each other or something. Nebraska, thank God they're bringing in young, fresh blood from the other side of the country, so that way you're not related to anybody here. I always love when I bump into somebody. They go, yeah, you might be like my 5th cousin. I'm like, oh God, I hope not. But I don't know. We've seen a lot of like cool people that have been stuck with us for 10 or 12 years. That's kind of fun to watch people, get married, have kids, grow old, lose their hair, get fat, get skinny. It's been fun. Seen a lot of egos, a lot of people that are just like all over the place because they think it's about them when it's not. So it's been an interesting world, buddy. So.
Oh, that went.
I know everything went quiet.
What a wonderful.
Now I've been screaming over this hissing sound for the last hour.
Was that me?
Oh, now it's coming back.
It is you, Kari.
I think it's a fan or something.
Oh, okay.
That's my air conditioning. I'll be right.
That's probably me. I have my fan on.
That's probably me. I've got my respirator on here.
There you go.
See, I'm sitting here sweating. Kari's got a goddamn AC on. Damn you.
Yeah, listen,
But-
I'm spraying myself the whole time like a houseplant.
I've got no pants on, so if that helps.
There you go.
Hey,
You know,
it's not
small
the first time
community.
it's happened on the show.
It's not.
So do you have any surprises left for this year?
Besides me not wearing any pants?
Yeah, I hope you're wearing pants at the con.
Well, it's not that kind of
He's
show.
so fast he can't even put on pants.
It's a family show. Do I have any surprises left at the show? No, I think I've got something for everybody this year. I think I've got
definitely.
I've got comic book artists and writers. I've got movie actors, TV actors. I've got anime voiceover people. I've got wrestlers. I've got soap opera people. I've got, snake charmers. I don't know. I've got a bit of everything.
My wife's beating me up. She has one request that you don't have. She wants drag queens. I have no idea why.
They have drag queens over at the Comedy Roadhouse.
Oh, there you go.
Every Friday and Saturday night during Terrificon. In fact, if she wants to go to a show, I would call them now. You can get tickets. It sells out.
I'll let her
every
know
weekend.
that.
They have
She'll
a drag
probably
queen show.
Drag me into that.
8 to 10.
I
just came back from Key West. There was drag queen shows everywhere. But she's not the first to ask for that.
She met her and one of my kids are huge RuPaul show it is fans.
Yeah.
And they're just like, there's all these drag queens that blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, this is a Comic-Con.
Well, I'm going to tell you the sad truth, too, that I learned over the last 12 years. If you've known me for years, you used to hear me say, it's only going to be comic book creators. We're never going to have any wrestlers. We're never going to have any actors or anything like that. Yeah. But the reality of the situation, gentlemen and ladies, is the world itself does not know who or what a John Romita Jr. is. They don't know what a Tom King is. And when I announce guests, I see, who's that? What show is he on? I don't know any of these people. So you have to get a little bit of everything for everybody. So you have, just like when you go to the grocery store, they just don't sell eggs. They just don't sell bread. They have a little bit. Hey, you got your pumpkins. You got your Eggos over here. You got yogurt over here. So I've slowly mellowed and brought in a little bit of everything for everybody. So if you're into anime, if there's cartoons you like, if there's that. So
if you like Laura from General Hospital.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
And that is the one I have. That's Jonathan Frakes' wife. So
yeah,
she's Laura from Luke and Laura. So
I'm wondering if she's gonna have the longest line there.
She
I would
probably
not
will.
Be shocked, to be honest
because like all these guys had dragged their wives to the show.
She's been on TV for 40 years, dude.
Yeah.
That's a long run on the same character.
Those would be the general expectations. I would agree.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like Henry Winkler. When we booked Henry Winkler, my wife and I thought no one would come out and see him. We're like, he's Fonzie from 45 years ago. We're like, nobody knows who that is. I didn't realize he was on this Arrested Development, which I never watched.
Yes.
He writes Sandler movies.
Adam Sandler. He was in The Waterboy. He writes kids books. He's a best-selling author.
Boom. Yep.
And then he was in Barry, which was just starting up.
So good.
Oh my God, so good.
Oh my God! And he had the most diverse fan base you've ever seen. There was little kids that read his Hank Zipper books. There was old people like me that knew him as Fonzie. There was younger people. It was insane how many people that guy had. Yeah,
it's great.
Maybe Rooker is the next one. Michael Rooker also has a huge fan base.
Love him.
Walking Dead
is a firecracker. That guy.
People out of the crowd. He's like,
yeah,
hey, get over
he
here.
is amazing.
Yes,
I've never seen such energy in a panel before.
Yeah, because one time we had this cosplayer, and Leo, you remember this, the Mary Poppins.
Yeah, she was there. He sang with her.
Yeah, and he just seeing the videos, I got hyped.
Oh my gosh, she got like hundreds of thousands of views on that thing.
Oh yeah,
that they filmed, and I saw it blow up the internet. I'm like, oh my God, that was at Terrificon. So
yes, it was.
Yeah.
So, but where things happen, everyone.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm most excited to see the Simonsons and is it Andrew Robinson from DS9?
Yep, Garrick the Tailor. Yeah,
you got me. That's what got me.
Plus, he was in Hellraiser, and he was in Dirty
Yes,
Harry for a long time ago. The first one.
Mm-hmm. Yes, he was.
A lot of stuff. And Jeffrey Combs.
Yes.
If you're Star Trek, he's been on every single Star Trek, even the animated show, the Lower Decks. He's done a voice. He's played an alien.
I've been dying to meet him for years because I'm a big Reanimator.
Reanimator, yeah, that's another show he's on.
Yeah, but so it's gonna be.
He played Brainiac in the Injustice video game. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And don't forget, he was also the Scarecrow in Batman, New Batman Adventure Season 4, and he was the Question in the Justice League.
And then we got John Glover, who's been in everything from the Fear the Walking Dead to the Batman and Robin. He was that guy, and he was also a Lionel Luthor in Smallville.
Mm-hmm.
He's been in it. He's in Scrooged.
Yep.
He's in Gremlins 2. I mean, this guy's been around forever as well.
Oh yeah,
in Shazam, he was the father of.
He was in Shazam. Dr. Sivana. Dad. Yeah. We know. It's so sad Velvet can't make it because him and John hit it off so well that we always make the joke that John's his con boyfriend. And oh god, it was so funny.
We're gonna have to send a video to Rich.
To make him feel better. Yes, I agree. Totally.
I didn't know Rich wasn't coming. This might be one of the years.
It's up in the air for him.
Yeah.
All right.
He basically is two-facing it right now. He's gonna flip a coin. You know.
I gave him. He can crash on my couch if he needs to. So.
He could come as half Joker, half Two-Face. That'd be cool.
Joke face.
Joke face. Joker face. It's kind of like that song, Poker Face.
Yeah. Oh my god, that would have been a great crossover.
Well,
Mitch,
we've reached the hour and a half mark, guys.
Do you have anyone that you think is a must? Who is a must interview for us? Like, who is someone to be like, oh, you can't miss this?
All of them.
Oh, I think Rebecca Romaine would be somebody.
Yes,
because she's been in X-Men. She's on Star Trek. She was in The Punisher. She's had a career. Rebecca Romaine. She was Lois Lane on the Death of Superman cartoon as well.
Yeah. Well, Jerry O'Connell.
Michael Biehn. Yeah, Jerry O'Connell, her husband. Another married couple.
Michael Biehn is fantastic. I met him at a con ages ago. He's such a delight. So
he's there with his wife as well, Jennifer. So
and Leo, he was on The Mandalorian. So
that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, and we've got the Mandalorian, the real Mandalorian. When it's not Pedro Pascal, it's Brendan Wayne, the guy who's actually in the suit.
Yeah,
like 99% of the show.
God bless him.
And then Tate Fletcher, who was not Jon Favreau, who does the voice, but he's the Jon Favreau's body on the screen. Yeah.
Paz Vizsla or whatever.
Paz Vizsla. Yeah.
Nice.
He'll be there. And he's good friends with Joe Rogan. He was like Joe Rogan's bodyguard. So that's an interview you should get. Oh, yeah. He's got stories.
Oh, great.
Him and Joe. Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
That one down.
I'm glad I asked then.
Yeah, that was. So I've got like only 4 people for like I need to talk to them, like Tom King, Mitch Gerard,
Arthur Adams is one of my.
He's great.
Chris Claremont, he'll talk to you for 4 years. So
I was telling these guys I did an interview with him, and I actually had to be like Chris, I gotta go.
I've hung out with him for about 3 hours once in New York City. And I was like, dude, I got to go. I mean, he went to the bathroom and I kind of ran out the door. I was like, I never thought that would happen, but I love talking to him, but I had to go. He's got stories all day long, you know?
I bet when you left, he was like in his X-Men comics, just a single tear. Down. It was just like, he left?
Where'd he go?
Where'd he go? I'll see him next year at Terrificon, single tear down the cheek.
Is there a new shirt design this year? Because my wife's getting the VIP bag, so I need to know what I'm getting. Well,
the VIP bag.
Oh boy!
If she knows, it's the 60th anniversary. See, I have to explain to my wife. She goes, "What is that cover?" I go, "It's the 60th anniversary of X-Men and the 60th anniversary of Avengers." So I did the iconic issue 57, Low with the Vision, where he's standing there with his hand out, and it's like that pinkish red cover. So I made it Captain Terrificon, and I think it says Low, there shall be a Comic-Con or Terrific Comic-Con, and it's done up like Avengers 57. So my wife's like, why is it red? I'm like, because that's the cover scheme. Why is it like that? I'm like, because look, this is what John Buscema drew, okay? I'm trying to, if you know comic books, you'll know what the hell this is. She's like, oh, I don't know comic books. I didn't know who that big red pink man was with his hand out. I'm like,
it's Frankenberry.
And then I did another T-shirt just for the general audience if they want to buy that. You know those old rock posters where it used to be like a red, yellow, blue paper, and they would just slap a new graphic on, like this week only, the Bee Gees or the Rolling Stones. So I made it look like a Terrificon rock poster, and on the back it says "Touring the Universe." Catch it. Smallville, Gotham City, Wakanda, and all these different fictitious towns. On the bottom it says Mohegan Sun. So it's like, well, okay, I'll go to that one. I can't get the one that's over in Latveria, but I'll go to see Terrificon.
We do have a Wakanda out here in Illinois, so it just spelled.
There is not.
Absolutely, there is Wakanda.
Is there really?
There is.
No, there's not.
Yeah, you even think about.
Well, don't buy this shirt then, all right?
Dan Aykroyd used to be like, I remember Lake Wakanda, right? Camp Wakanda.
Justin just made the list.
Oh no! Doesn't this is a horrible first impression for you?
Oh, he made the list. Yeah, it's over for you, buddy. You just ruined my T-shirt design.
No, Simonson's for you, buddy.
No,
ruined the T-shirt. I actually kind of want to get that one. I was just thinking how cool it is. I think I have a Rush one like that.
Put my Spider-Man glasses on now.
Ooh. Oh wow!
Ooh, Spider Mitch right there. Look at that.
Yeah,
I
got these when I was out in L.A.
So. It's very you. It's very.
Here I was thinking it was just something he had around in the house, but no, he actually went out and bought them.
Oh, that winks! Oh my god!
Oh, it does a lot of stuff.
Look at that.
That is bodacious.
What the?
See, kid, as you get older, you're still allowed your toys.
And you know what's so good about this? It's a business expense.
Oh, nice.
There you go.
It's a write-off. It's a write-off.
Just wear it at Mohegan once, and you're all set.
Don't worry. Leo's taught me all about what is business expense or not. I had a lot to learn.
I'm wearing this on the show while I promote the convention.
Yep.
So
it's all done.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
Sure. When I'm in jail I'll be wearing these in my jail cell. What are you here for? Tax evasion. Why? I try to write this crap off right there. So.
They're like, oh, but you're not a mayor. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's a Connecticut joke, so.
These expressions are killing me.
All right, guys.
Yeah, we totally want to be respectful of your time there, Mitch.
No one else is.
Yeah, right.
Well, we tried. We gave you an hour and a half of respect, and
look at that, an hour and a half, and not one person asked for tickets.
No. Hey, I gave up birthday sex for you guys.
Oh shit.
Okay, so we're gonna go. So thank you, Nick.
Let's get back to that.
I'm sure my wife's like, talk all night. Let them keep talking.
Oh,
she said, bring the goggles.
That's what I got. Yeah, well.
Mm-hmm.
Do they make little heart shapes? That would be a cool thing. Like, ooh.
Yeah, they did.
They did.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, man. You were like the meme. You had hard eyes, motherfucker.
Like, easy now. I am the Spider-Verse.
Yes.
They're kind of throbbing right now, so we better go soon, I guess.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah. Pulsating.
Well, I want to thank everybody for watching this fine evening. Definitely check up above or down below, depending on where you're watching or listening to us, to learn all about Mitch. Definitely head to Terrificon coming in just a couple weeks. And so, Mitch, where do you like people interacting with you on the socials?
I don't.
He doesn't. Even I remember that.
I knew that one was coming.
If you read my stuff, you'll see I'm a very misanthropic person.
He is.
I am. I'm not fake and crotchety.
Nope.
You can watch me on the YouTubes on Mitch and Ed's Excellent Adventure. We review old TV shows. You could download the Power Cosmic Podcast with me and Jerry Ordway. reviewing movies and just going to a bar and drinking and eating pizza. It's true. That's all it is. And then there's the IndieCast, which I'm on for 16 years now, talking about Indiana Jones. That's kind of pathetic. And then Terrificon.com and CTGamerCon.com. And don't follow me on Facebook because that's my personal page. So stop bothering me. So there you go.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Mitch. And we'll kick it off with Justin.
Hey, you can check me out, Epic Tales from the Sewers, a TMNT podcast, or with Mr. Leo Pond, we're on Comics Paradox, a journey across the Omniverse, and the Dork Knight podcast.
Mr. Drew.
Hold on. Okay, I'm good. Hello, everyone. When I'm not glistening here at Splash Pages, you can find me on Facebook, where I sometimes am like, Mitch, I don't want to be bothered with whatever you want to talk to me about. But then some days I'm like, you can talk. I'm here. People ask me to be on other shows. Thank you again, Justin. And I'm still trying to write for Screen Rant. It's all about energy, and I'm very tired. So go.
Jar Jar.
Hey, follow me, Jeremy Courtney, on Facebook, and check out Comic Book Lovers Buy, Sell, Trade, and Auction House on Facebook. Trade, buy, and sell with 20,000 other dorks. And there's a million shows I'm on at this point, so check them out.
Kari.
Hey, you guys can find me here with these guys. You can look me up at Kari Sanders on Facebook. And when I'm not here, I'm over with the Owlite podcast. With the Owlite Network, we have a lot of podcasts. You'll have our Thank Cthulhu It's Sunday shows that are rotating different shows about storytelling. And a new show, second episode of Tomb of the Terrible will be coming out this Friday. We're going to be reviewing The Killer Sofa. It's a gem. You'll love it. So come join us.
Sounds good. With that, we'll catch you later.
Killer Sofa.
Good night.